New cars have become far too big. This M3 went on sale in 2001. Then 20 years later, in 2021, this M4 arrived, and my has it grown. And this causes a bit of a problem. You see, while cars have grown, certain things haven't, such as parking spaces. Oh dear. In this video, I'm going to find out the risks posed by the increasing size of modern cars. I'll drive both cars through various situations. Honestly, I'm so tense. I don't want to damage it. Oh, whoa. This is just... And at the end of the video, I will take both these cars down the worst road in London, the Car Killer Road. I don't want to do this. Ah! Camera's getting clocked. And to see just how much more stressful modern cars make driving today, I'm going to see how many times each of these cars makes me swear. I'm Matt Watson, and you're watching Car Wow. But before we get into the challenges, how do these cars stack up in terms of their size? Well, this is a 20-year-old E46 M3 coupe. It's just under 4.5 metres long and just under 1.8 metres wide, excluding door mirrors. The modern equivalent of that car is the latest M4. It's about 30 centimetres longer and about 10 centimetres wider than the old M3. So really, it's quite a bit bigger. Part of this growth comes from the fact that it needs a stiffer chassis, a beefier gearbox and better suspension to deal with the fact it has 190 more horsepower than the old M3. And it's a lot faster. But it isn't just high-performance cars that have grown over the years, as James Nix from the Transport and Environment Group explains.
Each year, the new cars that are sold are half a centimetre wider than the sales of the previous year. Virtually all of the models that are updated include very significant width increases. So for example, the Land Rover Defender grew by almost 21 centimetres, the BMW X5 by 6 centimetres. All the signs suggest that this trend will continue to grow.
From a point of view from the motorist, what disadvantages are there? Cars not only getting taller, like you say, but also wider.
For users themselves, it's an absolute nightmare in multi-storey car parks. Those spaces are not more than 2.4 wide. And then if you imagine a series of those parallel spaces, all filled with 2 metre wide cars, there's just not enough room to open the door.
James also revealed a very surprising reason why mainstream cars keep growing. But before I tell you about that, I want to test his theory by parking these BMWs in one of London's most awkward underground car parks. Now this car has a low front splitter, so I've got to be careful with that. But because I've got good visibility, because the dash is quite low, I'm not too worried. Now, can I get around this bit? I'm going to take a wide berth, see if I can get in M1. Once again, I know exactly where the corners of the car are. It's quite easy to see and gauge it. Right, go find myself a space. There's a bit of like bollardy curby bit sticking out, which could catch me out. And then this bit here while I'm manoeuvring. I have no reversing cameras, so it's all on the mirrors. Do not do these wheels. A bit of the wall sticking out behind me, but I can tell in my mirrors that I'm okay. God, I'll tell you what, this automatic gearbox with its robotised manual clutch is a little bit jerky. Can I get out the car without hitting the car next, well, the van next to me? Pretty bad parking by me because I'm a bit rubbish at parking, clearly. Bit of a strange angle, but that'll do. I missed the curby bit. I'm in the space. Okay, here we go. New M4. I'm not worried about like bottoming out. God, I'm actually already tougher just to get through that gap. I am going to rely on my cameras because otherwise I have no idea. There we go. That's what I want. Bird's eye. Now, without all this, I would be absolutely. And even. Ah! Look, I've got reds. Just leap of faith it. This is scary. If you don't have these cameras, you are in a lot of trouble. We're gonna have to go out and then in. No chance. Literally, that's... Can I? No. Don't risk it for a biscuit. At least this gearbox is a little bit smoother than in that M3. All right, we're good. We are good. Watch that pillar there. Parking space, here we come. Nose up here. Just watching that lump there on the floor. No, I'd probably rather go in that space to tell you the truth, but I've got to do the same thing. I'm sort of cheating a little bit, being able to go into that space. Oh. I'm not hamming this up at all. The car's added length is really going against me here, not just the width. And that angle is sort of helping me out with that stupid lump on the floor. I'm a bit more confident in reversing this into position than the other car because I've got the reversing camera, so I can get right up tight. There, I love that view that you get. Right, there we go. Let's see if I can get out. Once again, without touching this car. Don't think getting out's much harder. And I think, you know, considering that bollard here, that's about as good as it's going to get. It's not worth risking it. It has proved harder so far. So why on earth are cars getting bigger if it also makes them more awkward to drive?
It's very much profit driven. And we've seen that across a whole series of studies where the margins on large SUVs are somewhere in the region of 40 to 60% higher than on smaller cars. Companies are chasing these higher margins that they're securing from the large SUVs, and they frankly don't care if the motorist is boxed in or out of their car.
And things could get even worse in the future. Is there a limit to how big cars can be?
There is a limit for all vehicles of 255 centimetres. Now that was brought in 1997, 1998 to govern the width of trucks and buses. It's effectively a truck and bus width limit.
There is a scope though that cars could get as big as that 2.5 metres. So I guess when someone says you could fit a bus in there, mate, you'll actually be able to know for sure.
Under existing law in both the UK and the EU, a car can be as big as a bus.
But I can see a huge problem here, because cars can drive in places where buses aren't allowed, such as certain tunnels. I'll test how difficult these cars are to drive through London's narrowest tunnel later in this video. But before that, I've heard of a car park that's so inaccessible, it's actually impossible to drive directly into. So to get to the car park, I have to drive into this rather sketchy lift. Already, look at the amount of damage. Look, oh. For access to car park, press call button. I've got a booking for the car. I'm nervous getting in this car. I don't think length's going to be a problem. No, to be fair, I often say that. There we go. Yep.
Doors closing.
What a terrible, terrible place. Oh dear, I think I might have actually just reversed into something. What is this doing here? Its parking sensors aren't working. I touched that. Fortunately, it's not caused any damage. Now for the M4. Right, let's get a good position set up right from the get-go. Oh, it's open. Bonus. Not a bonus. Where's the corner of this car? Why isn't it on bloody... I'm already relying on the stuff. Ah, it's shutting, what the What the That would have clanked on the car. Hello, can you let me in, please?
Thank you.
Bloody hell. Come on, surround view for the win. Oof. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Cameraman Lewis is keeping an eye for me. Ah, he wasn't. Look, I couldn't do without him. What a stupid parking. This is just... No, I've done it again. I think it might be the camera on the side of the car. I'll try not to crush Lewis's legs, he might need them. What's the reverse like this room? Good. I would not have been able to do this without the surround view cameras, and I certainly wouldn't have done it without Lewis. So if I'd been on my own, I would have bailed from this car park and I would have moved on. whoever parked that scooter there is an arse. Just need to check. I'm not going to curb that wheel. No. All right. Is it going to get around there? I mean, who are these people putting these bikes there? Thankfully, that other car's somehow gone. This time, because of the cameras, I won't hit that whatever it is thingy. There we go. I'm in the space, quite a bit of overhang. Look, see, just knocked it. That's better. Any scrapes? Nah, it's fine. Let's get out of here.
Lift is coming.
I don't have Lewis in front of me this time. Oh, wait. I'm in a bit of a wonky one. I think it's okay. That's it, they'll do this.
Door closing.
Oh, wait. There we go. Done. That was horrible in both cars, but particularly so in this. Thankfully, the car park wasn't actually full, probably because no one could fit their car in the lift. But I'm not finished with the tight underground spaces just yet. The Rotherhithe Tunnel. Not only do you encounter a little bit of a width restrictor to get into it, there's also a horrible surprise as you go through it. That's not the bad bit. And the one thing about this is that once you're in it, you are fully committed because it's a two-way road, constant moving traffic. It's one of the few places where I'm very pleased there's only a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit. It is a bit like a sewer tunnel, which is rather appropriate because we're heading into southeast London. Northwest guy. Okay, so here's the tough bit here. It's this tight corner, so when traffic's coming the other way, you have to just watch out. So there's another turn going this way, and it all depends how people are positioned on the other side of the road as to how tricky it can be. Because if you have someone driving quite a wide vehicle, like a van coming the other way, when you go around these cornery bits and they're a little bit all over the road, it can be sketchy. But I found it quite easy in this. But as you can see, there's not loads of room, is there, to the curb and the cars on the other side. There's an example here, watch this. Watch, see? How they're over the other side, and then it's just, whoa, glad I'm in the small car, glad I'm in the small car. Yeah, that's the bad bit. I'd love to have done a tunnel blast through there, it would have sounded epic in this. Well, that was relatively pain-free in the M3. Let's try the M4. And already I'm not enjoying this. This is look, already the sensors. I'm using my camera straight away. I'm not messing about here. I mean, I'm getting through and it's okay, but there is just that extra layer of stress. It's going to be a little bit sketchy here, but I can do it. That's fine. It's not as bad as I thought it might be. Oh, shoot. Whoa, sorry. I'm just not taking any chances with that curve because of my wheels. Oh, this is... Oh no, that wasn't fun. I got lucky on the previous one. It's when they SUVs come round. I mean, I'm just being super cautious of my alloys. Everyone is. Everyone's like driving a little bit over and then moving back in when they have to. There's definitely a higher level of tension driving this one through than the M3. For all of those who go, oh Matt, you could get a bus through there, blah, 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 blah. I do get that, but I'm someone who really likes to take care of their car, so I'm super cautious about alloy wheels. You know, whenever I curb an alloy wheel, I just feel gutted for days. And we're out. Thank God that's over.
And that's got me worried, because later in the video, I'll be taking on the car killer road, and I will damage a vehicle.
Those near misses got me thinking about how car safety has improved over the years. And surely all the latest safety tech and clever crumple zones are bound to contribute to cars getting bigger, right? I decided to speak to an expert to find out.
I certainly think there is something to do with a vehicle's mass and its ability to protect its occupants, and definitely material, metal around you makes a difference. However, I would say that vehicle size is actually much more of a fashion piece around manufacturers wanting to show that their next model is more commodious than their last model.
So this lines up with what James said earlier about car makers chasing bigger profits by marketing bigger cars as fashion statements. But apart from a safety perspective, is there any advantage to driving around in big cars?
It's just physics that a heavier car can protect its occupants more than a lighter car. But of course, if every vehicle gets heavier, you get no advantage from that.
If we all drove around in smaller, lighter vehicles, we'd need less metal around us because we'd be crashing into lighter things.
At the end of the day, you're still going to have 44-ton trucks on UK roads, and therefore you need as much protection as you can. But definitely a good big one is always better than a good small one.
Right, so when you look at your ratings, like certain small cars get a full 5-star rating. You're not necessarily comparing like with like then. If I was in a big 5-star SUV crashing into a small 5-star hatchback, better off to be in the big SUV?
Yes, but we do accommodate that. So when we do a test and we publish the results, we make it clear that this is a 5-star vehicle in a certain sector, and it should really only be compared with that sector.
That makes sense. But what happens when a big car does crash into a smaller car?
Something we introduced in 2020 was something we call compatibility. And what we're trying to do there is to make the vehicle manufacturer who makes the big car also accommodate the smaller cars. So manufacturers don't just make SUVs as big tanks, they have to make them softer to protect the smaller vehicle as well.
That's all well and good, but I can think of another area where big cars come under fire from other road users. This 7 Series is clearly spilling out of his bay. To be fair, he is parked quite away from the curb, obviously to protect his alloy wheels, but look how far over he is. This Range Rover Sport, it's just over the line, and to be fair, it's got reasonably close. I think the person in this Lamborghini Murcielago is just like given up. I'm going to park where the hell they like. This Rolls-Royce Spectre probably had no chance. I mean, you're going to want to protect those wheels. He's reasonably close, but I think even if he was curbing his wheels, he'd still be spilling over because this is such a wide car. Once again, this Bentley Bentayga has no chance at all. He's reasonably close to the curb. This is the worst one I've seen so far. I mean, that's just literally hanging out of the bay. This is a van, so obviously vans are quite wide, but vans have got to park too, right? He's done a really good job of getting close. Obviously, van driver doesn't really care about his wheels, but still spilling over. This space is just under 184 centimetres. This is the smallest so far, though to be fair, I've only been looking for a few minutes. It's Toyota Land Cruiser. There's no way it's going to fit. To be fair, even normal cars don't fit. Well, they're not particularly well parked. This Mercedes A-Class, this Mercedes C-Class, a badly parked Mini. You could park the old Mini like lengthways in there and it would fit. And look, Mercedes E-Class here. Pretty close to the curb, but spilling out quite badly. But if none of these cars could fit in these on-street spaces, does that mean the parking spaces themselves are the problem?
Parking is divided into off-street and on-street, and both have different requirements for the size of bays. Start with the off-street parking. So there are no fixed regulations, but there is guidance. So iStructE have a car park design guide, and they updated it in 2023, and this updated it to recommend slightly larger parking bays in reflection of the fact that cars are getting slightly bigger. For on-street parking, well, that is regulated by the Traffic Signs Regulation of 2016, and that indicates that there has to be a minimum size. So the minimum width is 1.8 metres.
So that means the spaces I found in central London are some of the smallest in the UK. So no wonder that huge Land Cruiser didn't fit. But how about a 20-year-old BMW? Parking this M3 should be a breeze, right? To tell you the truth, I'm not that confident even in this because it's so tight. Great. The noise of this car has set off the alarm of that E-Class. In some ways, I'd rather be in the 4 Series because I've got those cameras. I might need some assistance. Lewis,
yeah.
How far am I away from that?
From the car behind you? Yeah, about this far.
Okay. Do you know what's happened? Over the years, I've got so reliant on cameras. Now let's find out if... Oh, even this is spilling over. Let's see if I can get a bit closer. Right, I am not getting better than that. 2 fingers. Oh, look! I think the camber's working against me on this particular car, but it's sort of just about in. 182 centimetres. So it's still 2 centimetres over the minimum, but my gosh, it's tight even for this old car. But would all the modern tech in the M4 make up for the fact that it almost certainly wasn't going to fit?
Here goes nothing. How long until I turn on the cameras? Right, this is cocked up already, I think. Right, I cannot tell, because I'm sat so low, where the corner of the car is. Let me just get this mirror involved. I've turned the parking sensors off. Let's see how close I am to the car behind. Quite close. It's measuring me being close to the curb. But I think I might be able to do this. Super close to that Mini. I think I'm going to hit it if I get any closer. See, this is not only wider, this is longer. Blimey. This is insanely difficult. Totally reliant on this surround system. So good, to be fair, but it's so necessary. And again. Yeah, calling that. A bit further away than I got the E46. Look how much I'm over. I'm tempted to just try and get a little bit closer. Please don't do the wheels. Please don't. Oh, I'm not going to do better than that. That's less than 2 fingers. Back's well over, look. Considerably over. That line's there. I'm spilling out the bay. Oh, look. That's fresh. I just did that. Damn!
But you know what's even more annoying about a curbed wheel? A parking ticket. Could I actually get a ticket in the M4 because it's physically too big to fit in the actual parking space?
You can be given a penalty charge notice if your car is too big for the designated bay that you've parked it in, especially if it's causing an obstruction to the highway. A civil enforcement officer will assess your vehicle as to how it is parked, and if they believe that it is causing some form of obstruction either to someone's access or to the road, they may issue you with a penalty charge notice, though they are obliged to use a degree of common sense. So as long as the car is deemed to be parked within the bay, you should be okay.
So I probably wouldn't get a ticket in the M4 even though the wing mirrors are sticking out beyond the white lines, because I'm not actually obstructing anyone else on the road. However, if your car is physically too long or too wide to fit in a space and the wheels or bumpers are beyond the white lines, then you could end up with a nasty fine. But ultimately, it's up to the discretion of whoever issues the ticket. Just hope they're not working on a commission basis, because it could go against you. You can also get a ticket if you obstruct other road users because you just couldn't be bothered to park properly. So now I'm going to do what most lazy people do, engage the car's self-parking system and see how well it will cope with this very tight space.
Here we go. Park. Going to reverse. Now what's it going to do? It's going in hot! What's it going to do about the curb? Wait there, this is wicked! It's totally observing the curb. This is brilliant! I never normally use the auto park systems on cars because it's just too slow. Wait a minute, you've got to do better than that. Look at that! Oh, way over. Yeah, the system doesn't give a toss. I need to jump to the curb. Oh. It's at least 20 centimetres out of the bay. I'm not sure a parking attendant will accept that.
Okay, so I'd definitely get a ticket for that horrendous parking, which I'd probably just send straight to BMW. But as I learnt earlier, cars are just going to keep getting bigger. So is parking in cities just going to become impossible in the future?
Our cities were designed several centuries ago. Our roads were designed many decades ago. So there actually is very limited space on roadsides for on-street parking in particular. And as cars get bigger, there's going to have to be at some point some kind of conversation as to how large cars can actually get before our infrastructure itself struggles really to cope. And car parking is almost the first sign of this.
So let's recap. Cars are getting bigger by about 0.5 centimetre every year, and all the signs say this trend is going to continue. This growth isn't necessarily to do with car safety. It's more to do with car makers wanting to maximise profits, and their companies, so you can't blame them. And selling bigger cars as fashion statements is all part of this. Parking spaces in the UK are already too small for most cars, and as cars keep growing, the actual roads themselves will start to feel too small. And so far, the M4 was proving much more stressful to drive than the old M3.
Next thing I'm going to do is my favourite of favourites, a width restrictor. 6.5 foot, which is just under 2 metres. It's not dead easy in this, but it's fine. Got to watch those alloys, keep it straight, Watson. I've actually been lent this car by a chap called Mark. Thanks, Mark. I don't want to damage it. Oh, sorry, Mark. Oh, that'll buff out.
not easy in this. It's going to be a nightmare in the M4. Oh great, here comes another one. This one looks more brutal on the alloy wheels if I get it wrong. I think we're good. Just slide through there. Not looking forward to doing that in the M4. Mark, I might have just scuffed your door mirror a little bit just doing this one, look. Just there.
That's not you.
That wasn't me?
That's not you.
That wasn't me. Oh, thank God. I did catch it slightly, but obviously it didn't do any damage. I'm a bit nervous about this. No, look, there's a black cat. Is that good luck or bad luck? Oh, straight away, just get these cameras up. Let's not mess about. Right, I'm going to have to jack my seat up really high. Come on. It's just horridness. And for my previous mistake, I can hear the camera hitting the bollard. Wheel dead straight. I have had a bit of help from Lewis pointing. Put that back in. I think I'm through. Right, through. That was harder. And I learnt what to do on that one. Right, here comes the tough one. Come on. Just line this bad boy up. Oh, now. Door mirrors, just in case. I hope that's the camera. There we go. I think I'm through it. Oh, that was stressy. I've got one challenge left, and it's the hardest by far. This whole road is one big long width restrictor, and it obviously claims quite a few cars. There's someone's door mirror. Oh dear. Hopefully that's not going to be me. Okay, here I go. The in seems okay. Camera's getting clocked. And again. But other than that, if it wasn't for those cameras getting smashed, I can get through here pretty quickly. In fact, Lewis, the cameraman, he slowed me up. That was easy. No problem. Look at this. We've got a taxi driver. These guys are skilled at driving through horrible London, and he's going slow. Can you hear his car creaking against the... Listen. That's tyres against the curb. Ooh, hello.
What's happening, Matt?
Hello. You alright? How horrible is this?
Wait, if I put on any more weight.
Well done though. Even experienced taxi drivers, they hate it. The taxi driver's having to come back up now. Horrible.
Can't put this on the internet. The missus, I was going out to get the papers and I'm working, so don't do it.
You're earning money for your family, it's fine. Well done. Now for the M4. Bit worried about this because I've just looked online and apparently the width of that new black cab is 1874 millimeters. This is 1887 millimeters wide. So this is 15 millimeters wider. I don't think the wheels are going to make it unscathed. Let's do it. I don't want to do this. What have I got myself into? I'm literally getting help with this. There is no way I'm doing this without the help. I mean, look, I've no idea. I'm just... Like, I didn't know to turn my wheel there. I'm looking on here. Right, you're driving this on your own, unless you've got a passenger who's as skilled at manoeuvring cars as Nick to guide you. Ah! Oh, it's the camera. I'm just almost just like had enough now. I mean, look. I mean, let's be honest, we're cheating, aren't we?
Yeah, I can't be here for everybody.
I'm keeping my window down. Let's just accept the fact that I'm not doing this on my own. This is not doing it for me.
Your door mirror is going to be perilously close here, but I think you'll be fine.
Did I do it?
You haven't curbed it, you're fine.
That went up the curb though.
Left. Okay, a little bit left still.
I think I'm...
GoPro, don't worry. A little bit left, okay.
Now... Look at that there.
Yeah, you're fine, this way.
I mean, we're talking just minor changes to make it through. That was a GoPro. Honestly, I'm so Right, I've had enough of this. Today has been stressful, and I would have damaged this car quite a few times going through there if I hadn't had Nick. In fact, I wouldn't have bothered. I wouldn't have gone through it. Thanks, Nick.
Oh, that was good timing.
I know how that GoPro feels. I thought I got away with that curbing incident, but actually, I think that's it. Damn. I like the way that I've contained it to one wheel today. That was from earlier, and that was from just, and that could have been a lot worse. But what about the all-important swear score? Oh, absolutely. This is scary. Come on. What the stupid parking. This is just... This is... I don't want to do this. Honestly, I'm so today has been stressful. So that's a clear win for the old M3 then, which is hardly a surprise. So what have we learned from all these crazy challenges? Well, while cars have got bigger, which makes them more comfortable to travel in, and it's fine on big, wide open roads, it actually makes them less comfortable to drive round town or busy city streets. And this is how crazy things have become. The Fiat 500, one of the world's smallest cars ever, but not anymore. That is pretty much as wide as the E46 M3. Madness. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like. If you want to see some other crazy videos, then click on the subscribe button, because we've got some really interesting stuff coming out soon. To watch some other videos, just click on the video windows, and if you want to change your car the easy way, just click on the CarWow logo. Thanks for watching.